at least for me, like I know the idea they want to have with it, especially with Bounty Hunter for mouse sports. They want to have the Ursa Snowball with track, but like Ursa can be self-reliant if he has the right matchup, and it leaves your supports to roam a lot. But when you have Rubik Bounty Hunter supports, right, that feels like super weak to me.
And talking about that last game's draft and mouse sports doing the same old, again,
they've got the same
2 heroes in. It's the same 2 heroes they picked up in game 1. Yeah. So
they were also versus Clock in that game too.
They were also versus the Clock in that game.
Yeah,
that
so
makes
I think
a lot more
sense.
sense.
It's reasonable for them to have this opening.
Yeah, I think that this opening is fine.
And look at the Danish Bears actually say, yeah, we're not going to even though they lost with it, they actually banned the 2 heroes that they did pick before.
Okay.
With the same draft, yeah. So take away that Nature's and the bounty.
I mean, they can. That's a very hard pressuring kind of like lane. The Nature's Prophet and Bounty put a lot of pressure onto your safe lane.
I also don't like Rubik 5.
Me either.
Rubik 5 is underwhelming.
He needs farm.
Yeah, he needs farm and levels.
Yeah, but then you need like really good like killing cores, right? Like if you're playing a Rubik as a 4 and you have an even like weaker position 5, like what do you pick? Like who's your pairing?
Tree and Protector.
Tree. Yeah,
that's one of the few that I really like.
Because you want something that can run to lanes and like pressure, right?
Yeah.
Shaker is going to be the pick in that. I mean, that could be either MNT. That probably is going to be MNT Roman Shaker, won't it?
Yeah, more than likely.
Rather than
I guess it's still open-ended, but more than
I see these 2 heroes together as support, and I feel like
you don't like it.
There's no damage. There's no damage, and it's like.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Ben's right. Picking a Shaker into Clock, that's always a bit.
The roaming Shaker, especially.
Yeah. You're going to be weak. You're going to be vulnerable. Like you can't go to that lane. I mean, I guess you can go and try and block the Clock off with a Fisher, but
I think mouz is more looking at the mid laner, right?
Okay.
The Queen of Pain or Shaker versus Shadow
They want to kill
you
the
can punish
SF.
him, kill him. You already know he's gonna have like starting extra souls, so maybe the Shaker just starts there and throws a couple of fissures just to be annoying, so Quap can actually play the game.
Disruptor is also not really a save hero either. Like he can be there to maybe get a counter kill, but he's certainly not gonna save the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. I think the Disruptor is like, Rubik doesn't have the greatest spell to steal from Disruptor, and you have good versus Quap, and then you have Rocket Vision from Clockwork, so at least you can take those kind of fights.
We'll see if mouse do stick yet again with another
they think it's
same old pick.
Shaker, right?
Well, it looks for it. With that Ricky ban, yeah, they're still worried that MNT could have picked up the Ricky.
What?
Yeah.
Those bans
Those
came
were before the Shaker.
Oh, sorry. Andy, you're throwing me off.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
whatever, I'm tired,
You're throwing for
it's
us,
like
Andy.
6:30 in the morning.
You're throwing the panel.
That's a clamp for you.
I've been
Oh,
clamped.
here we go.
Where'd you get this?
What do you mean where they
I think it was just sitting in here because when they were building the...
I take it everywhere with me, Ben.
Classic.
You ever wondered how, I get that high pitch in the cast, Get it between the legs, right on the Johnny.
You know this is a 2-inch clamp, right?
Well, you just got quite a bit of girth to it when you open it up. What do you mean it's a 2-inch clamp?
It specifically says 2-inch spring clamp.
That's wider than 2 inches. Open that up.
Do you even know what an inch is?
I don't know, an 8-inch, really. It's a 2-inch clamp.
Yes, it says it.
That's probably more than 2 inches. No, actually, that probably is 2 inches. That's a pretty wide penis, Ben.
Let's not go there.
I don't get what Ben's.
Can we keep it family friendly? Oh.
Well, I wanted to keep it family friendly, then I go pick a bristleback. I mean, there's kind of all hope of that gone out the window, really. Mouse. The bristleback pickers.
SF's pretty good for his bristle, though. He's decent.
It's okay, yeah. Natural silver edge carrier.
Yeah, he's decent. But now this leaves a little still ambiguity in mouse sports lineup. Don't know where the lanes are. Bristle and Shaker can be pretty much interchanged.
But the other thing too is it's only shown one guaranteed support on Danish Bears. They can react to the Bristle pretty heavily if it's going to be offlane.
This is true.
And
Sven time?
Okay.
Looks like it's Sven time.
Sven time?
Actually, Sven Clockwork. Ew.
That's pretty ass.
It's a little clunky.
Yeah. I think it's Necrophos.
Necro's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Like everyone thinks like Reaper is this great skill against Bristle, and yeah, it's okay.
Heartstopper's good. Ghost
I
Shroud
like
is good.
I like having you always have the 15 or you always have max stick charges, so you just Ghost Shroud stick and you're full health.
Yeah.
That's what I really like versus him.
And it's also pretty nice against Quap, isn't it? She blinks into a bad position. One Reaper's, you're going to be able to bring her down to the threshold.
Oh, they ban Legion. Okay.
I think you have to against it. I think you really don't want to let Hester Joe play one of those 3 heroes because now I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, what will Hester Joe play? Because he's really good at those. I mean, his other ones aren't, what, Nature's Prophet that they banned themselves. I'm trying to think what else I've seen in the past that Hester Joe is really strong on. That's true. That is true.
Before. I mean,
yeah,
it's
that
not
is
the
true.
greatest. It's not a good self-sufficient offlaner, but
it's nice to have another hero that can like sit outside of the fight and wait for a shaker to do stuff.
Some kind of other initiator. Because they don't know. They only.
Yeah, they have Disruptor for that already. They can actually just have him go in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start the fight for Danish Bears. That is like a core. Because then the other two.
Oh wait, what am I on about anyway? It's gonna be Hester Joe Clockwork, isn't it?
Well, they banned.
We don't know
Legion.
yet.
We don't know that.
They
we don't know yet.
Legion, so
well, Mouse Sports,
Mouse thinks.
But I think, well, yeah, what I'm on about. Surely Hester Joe will play the Clockwork.
Well, maybe. They could also go back for something like Puck. That definitely starts the fight.
Oh, yeah, he does play the Puck.
And it's nice to be able to get to the Rubik and the Shaker as well. Some backline reach. Void ban.
Now, let's see what they go for. Is it going to be Hester Joe's, or are they going to... Yeah, there we go. So, well, that still doesn't really answer too much, because it could be both ways round. I guess, would you prefer the Nyx to be the support and the Clock to be the offlaner?
Personally, yes, because these Rubik or Shaker, I think, are pretty weak.
I think that's the stronger way round for the players, I think, on Danish Bears.
Yeah, I think the Clock is mainly for the Shadow Fiend advantage and...
The Nyx's Essen, when I like to play this core, when I like seeing his cores, you have something that can pair up and gank with it very easily. But now it's just like this Nyx's Essen who's running around just giving information. And
there we have it. So it's going to actually be a core Shaker. And, no, sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it is going to be at least the 4 Rubik. So do you like that, the Rubik Tusk? Kind of finish up rounding up to the support duo on Mouse Sports?
In the sense that it can kill Shadow Fiend for sure.
Yeah.
Like Tusk plus Queen is a very easy kill on that hero.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be able to pressure mid quite heavily, which I think is important.
Rubik as 4, which I like more.
Yeah.
I like it more. I'm liking Danish Bears' overall draft better.
For sure.
Yeah. They don't really have any good synergy with the Bristleback.
Yeah. I mean, Necro Nyx are very good versus Bristle in later stages. Heartstopper is annoying. Nyx just mana burns you a couple times, and he has 2 guaranteed stuns. Because you Vendetta Carapace, you hit him in the back, you stun him.
Automata Bristle is a sad Bristle.
Yeah.
And it's never really fun, is it, playing a Queen of Pain against an Nyx Assassin? You got to be very careful how you throw your spells out.
Yeah.
One false move and you're done for.
Yeah, they have good information on the map too for Danish Bears. Like the Vendetta Nyx can run around and give them a lot to like pressure towers. Yeah, I like Danish Bears a lot more this time.
Well, I think, well, we all seem like we agree. We were right, at least in the last one, Danish Bears versus Alliance, but we will see what happens here.
I think it depends a lot on how well Tusk can play. Because there's a lot of, like, you can save people from the Nyx combo, you can save people from Reaper.
That's
you can ruin the SF's early game. But we haven't seen too many big plays from Spartan. I don't know, he's usually captain. He's just, like, calling stuff, doing stuff.
His IO is the one hero that, like, makes big plays, but, we've seen his Rubik go kind of ham a couple times. That was in Boston. It was a long time ago now.
6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, 6 months ago.
Yep, a little bit more.
More than that, yeah.
Damn.
All right, lads.
Oh, well, yeah, you guys can go.
To you guys now, huh?
Sure. Go play some Puzzle Bobble.
I will.
Don't eat all the Chick-fil-A.
Is it here yet?
No promises.
It better not be.
I hope it's
because here. I'm hoping it's not.
We'll wait till the pause is done. We'll chill for a little.
Yeah, thanks. You can hang with us.
So we've got Madara Bristle. I like Madara on more explosive heroes. I'll put it out there. I like his Morphling and stuff like that. Like I like him just going for the kills. I don't know.
Do people even play Morphling?
No, not in a long time, but I like when he plays that stuff.
I always thought of him on like Sven and Jug. Those were like the
Sven and Jug.
Jug. I mean, even the Ursa that he played earlier, definitely.
Yeah. Well, back in like the original like Ad Finem form of the team, he's a very good Ursa.
Yeah.
Just that hero is not good.
In the bin.
All right, guys. Good luck.
Yeah, the pause is done. You guys can go.
Have good fun, lads.
Thank you. Well, we'll see you after the game. Well, probably just before the next one. Andy and Jonas, as it is myself, ODPixel, and Malini is going to be taking you for this one. Ben?
Do you want to introduce the heroes?
Let's do it. We've got Ben on the camera. He's going to do a beautiful job. I believe in you, Ben.
I believe.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. We can do the hero rundown. What have we got? Over on the side of the Radiant, we have Danish Bears. You've got Rise playing Disruptor. He's going to be down bottom for the moment being. Of course, back in base, the abuse, the feature, the function is occurring. Ace, 747, Hester Joe, your Clock, Necro, and Shadow Fiend. And of course, last but not least, you're going to have Noya moving around the map on the Nyx Assassin. Over on the other side of Mouse Sports, looks like they're going for a bit of a playpen. Do you want to give us a bit of a lowdown what's going down?
Yep, Smoke onto the Radiant side. They know that the SF is going to be slow out of base. This always happens with Clock Ring Shadow Fiend. You spend the first 30 seconds inside the fountain, and then after that you move out. But they are going to be a little bit late outside. 747 almost has max souls.
They might be able to punish him. Well, they've got a lot of them, haven't they? They could certainly man up for a fight here. 747 straight up. The Quill Spray is coming through. He's looking for the stun. Noya will get it onto 2. Heads to Joe, trying to block them up with the cogs. 747 pops the Fairy Fire, but he's in trouble. The Quill Sprays stack up, and 747's down. Mouse Sports claim first blood. Now we're going to see if Danish Bears can find anything in return, but Noya's got to be careful. The Quill Spray stacking on him as well, and he can't even get a stun out. Double kill for Madara as the movement from Mouse Sports is successful. And they knew exactly what was happening. They knew that they could get that position after they'd gone for the SF clock play, and they punished it hard.
Yeah, that's a really good move. You don't see people take advantage of that enough, the downtime that you need at the start to actually stack up the souls. And now SF's only going to start off with 8 souls and 1 death and no bounty runes. So that is already not a good start for him.
Absolutely. In fact, he could even be in trouble again. Straight in, a beautiful ice sharp block there from Spartan. He goes for the body blocks as well. 747 is going to tick down very low here. The Tango just enough to keep him alive.
But he doesn't have the bounty rune, so he can't actually buy his salve early on.
I mean, he is in such a bad position now in this mid lane. What does he do? He's going to try and stick around for a little bit, but he has to be careful. Thug, if he gets another dagger out onto him, he could be just dead, but 747 will be able to just fog the Quap at the last possible minute, but
no more mana on Spartan, though. So he doesn't have a clarity, so they can't actually threaten to kill anymore. He is level 2 on the Queen, but he's still in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. I mean, Thug knows the regen's low for the SF, just goes in, doesn't mind that he takes a bit of a rest, just so we can get that dagger on, force him back. Same time up at the top lane, Clockwork's being forced out of it as Madara and MNT take control of their safe lane. Pulls being made and such. Mid lane 747, he's doing his best, just trying to stick around, regardless of the fact that he's incredibly low. He does have the backup of both of his supports, Noya and Rise, in the neighborhood. Let's see if they can do something about Thug. They know Thug's going to be playing cocky with the situation. But this is drawing a lot of attention towards the mid lane, and certainly going to be freeing up some space for the Earthshaker down on the bottom, who only has the Necro to deal with. I say only, it's still not too nice for him, but with the supports gone, he can feel a bit more confident of getting a little bit more out of that bottom lane.
I think the supports from Mouse are getting very active early on. This is something that I would say they have had a ton of troubles transitioning from Boston. They just don't really do that much, and they just lose out way too much on the early game. But this game, it's been a lot different. Maybe next time already all up in their area. And on the flip side, I think Noya is doing a really good job of salvaging 747's game, just constantly sitting mid. And the mana burn is highly annoying for Thug. He doesn't have his bottle yet, so he is in a lot of trouble when it comes to that.
They have found Ace here. Look at the sharp block off. Rise is there trying to help out, but with the 3 members of Mouse that will surround the Necrophos, he'll try and get himself out of there with a stick charge and whatnot, but it's not enough. He's down, and in fact, Mouse, they actually look for the second target straight up. The Snowball was heading for Rise. He's trying to get his way out of this one, but MNT and Spartan, they'll chase him down. Good stuff from Noya to hold back the 2 of them. Is it enough to save Rise? It is. The shards won't connect. Rise will escape. But nonetheless, Mouse Sports getting themselves another kill, trying to do their best to secure the lanes.
Wow, look at a CS.
I was going to say, in the middle lane, that is, considering the situation, it's amazing for the
It's all because of the Nyx, though. The Nyx mana burn, each mana burn just hurts so badly. Wow.
Spartan, he went for it. We saw him kind of hanging around with the Snowball. He is going to dive for the kill. Oh, he needs one more touch. Is he going to get it? He is. He will pay with his life, but he'll say it's worth. There was a salve being popped as well by the Disruptor, so that's something else. Yeah, Spartan not holding back. He said, yeah, we like to see him make the flashy plays, and, well, that certainly was something.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. Rubik's getting a ton of space up on the top lane. So all in all, this early game, very swimmingly well for them. Earthshaker even has a good amount of CS, sitting at 11. That's more than you see Shakers normally get early on in the game. But they are still going to have to put up pressure with this Tusk. He has clarityed up, back to full. Going to drop some aggressive wards. However, it will be scouted out by Radiant.
So hard for him to make a movement. Skylark will be able to grab himself the bouncy rune. Top lane, MNT coming up the wraparound. Low on mana on the Bristle, but he does have the Soul Ring. We'll start to look to stack up the Quill Sprays, trying to body block Estajo up there, the Rubik. but unable to do so. And Joe just a little too tanky as he is able to walk it off. Down bottom again, though, Spartan with a beautiful Ice Shard block. Rise will try for the straight TP out, but it's not going to work. The snowball comes in, and the kill is set up for Thug as he picks it up thanks to the Tusk. And I got to say, Spartan, I feel like as well, since the Tusk change with the shard control, we see a lot of shards messing up.
Yeah,
but he is not messing up. He knows what he's doing. He's got it down to a T.
He's been practicing for sure. You can certainly tell that he's been playing Tusk a lot. That's no surprise. Like Liquid, one of the TI invited teams, have been using Tusk pretty much as their main position.
Plays it every game, doesn't he? He absolutely loves the hero.
And when you're not finding the results that you want, that's always a good thing to do. I would say is just take some notes from some of the top teams in Position 5 Tusk. You know, just try and play it like some of the other players. They still need a little bit more vision around this SF. If you look at the vision from the Dire side right now, it's pretty deep in, but this is normally where SF's farm area is. They have no idea where it's going to be.
Trying to go for the sharp block there. It was certainly a harder one. Didn't have the vision. So quite hard to gauge how far away the SF was. Bottom lane glimpse onto Skylark, dragging him back. Enchant Totem to try and hold back the two of them, and in fact he is going to survive for the time being. Maybe the turnaround could occur. Look at the telekinesis into the Fissure. Rise tanking a bit of the tower here. He is going to survive, does have the heal coming through from Ace as well, so he will manage to get his way out of there. Straight in though, Spartan, looking for the chase down, throws out the shards, won't clip him. It's actually going to be the top lane though where the kill occurs. Hester Joe finding himself what seems to be a solo kill onto the Bristleback. That was not expected.
Nope, didn't really see how that happened up there. Still pretty impressive play, being able to solo kill the Bristle.
Yeah, I mean, that was without a hookshot as well. He just must have got in there and given him the rundown. Bottom lane, Ace, once again, trapped by the shards. Looking for the turnaround here, though, with the Death Pulse. And in fact, with Vestajo coming in with the TP, the Rocket Flare, it is going to be Danish Bears turning this play around. Skylark potentially in trouble. See if he can get out. Yeah, it'll just be a little quick for the second Death Pulse to catch him. MNT will not be as fortunate, though, inside the jungle. A little bit caught out and down, and Danish Bears doing their best here to rectify those early movements, and they've certainly done it now. A Reaper's Scythe kill for Ace on the bottom lane as they are now 6-5, and things are getting turned on their head pretty quickly.
Yep, they threw away a lot of their early lead trying to go on this Necrophos in the bottom lane. He has a double bracer build, and he is just extremely hard to kill this early on in the game. They don't actually have that much damage. I think Fog was talking about how like a Rubik combination with most heroes don't actually have that much damage in the early game, especially when you only have level 3 on the Tusk. He did quite a bit of work in the first couple minutes of the game, but now they're petering out, especially with the Bristle getting killed solo in the lane. That slowed down a lot of their momentum, and still this SF has just been unhindered just in this empty part of the jungle. Now the map's all dark. They had some pretty good ward vision, but now that it's nighttime, all their momentum has halted. Now they will go for a smoke play as they head down towards the bottom lane.
See if they can get the triple bracer build now on the Necrophos.
Feels safe with these two apps.
See if he can walk this one out. It's going to be tricky with 4 heroes surrounding Ace, and indeed he's been stunned up, controlled, telekinesed, held in place. As the rotation will be successful, Mouse Sports get the kill. We'll see what Danish Bears can do in response. They in turn are giving Neuer that space in the mid lane, trying to get him towards that level 6. He's just about to hit 5 at the moment on the Nyx Assassin. And top lane, of course, more and more space for the Clockwork, who is finding levels, finding the kills. Still, though, CS definitely looking very good for the Bristleback. Top of the board at the moment for Madara. Hester Joe's going to come on the hunt again. At the same time, down bottom Ace. TP's back. Spartan's still hanging around with Skylark, though. Skylark's going to be wrapped around upon. They can block him off here. There's the Fissure. The shards aren't going to be successful. Even if they were, though, very hard for Mouse to do something here. TPs are coming through. Ace keeping himself alive. The Echo comes through along with the Sonic Wave, but Ace, can they get the Reaper's Scythe off? He can't. Neuer couldn't get the stun out quite in time, and they'll lose the Necrophos. Mouse thinking about diving for more, but they're low on the mana front. So they will have to back off, but they get that Necro kill. Great rotation for the Queen of Pain. Thug coming in just in time to make sure that the turnaround wasn't possible.
With the Gila, it's double damage, a lot of free damage on that tower. Hester Joe owning Madara.
He's hunting him down left, right, center. We saw him giving trouble up on the top lane. He comes straight towards the mid lane, hunting him down. The battery assault, though, being tanked up by the creep wave. It looks like Hester Joe can't quite finish off the kill, and in fact, This is almost certainly going to be one for mouz instead. TP across from MNT, zaps him down with the Fate Bolt.
Wow, what Spartan's playing over here? Just see what's going on. Hey,
he wants
buddy.
To get away from that SF, yeah. Walking around on him about a third of his life. A little bit risky, but yeah, 6 to 8. A lot of action so far here in the first 10 minutes. But, I mean, overall, is it pretty even in your eyes, Ben, or is someone going to be a little happier with the way that this game's starting to go?
I would say that Radiant's a bit happier because SF has had a really good start despite the early death and the early pressure for the Queen. That's not the easiest lane for the SF. And the Necrophos, I think, has had a pretty good time. Yeah, he's died 3 times, but I still think that it could have been a lot worse for him. And the Bristle, I would say, is struggling slightly more than the Necrophos. Because I think Bristle should be... Bristle, I think, is way stronger in the early game. Necrophos, he's not that strong early. He's much stronger in the mid game after you get your first item.
Bottom lane, look at where it is. Hester Joe straight in with the hook shot onto Skylark. There will be a TP in from Spartan. Looking to save. Does have the snowball to buy him some time. Ace couldn't quite get in range there to land the ultimate onto the Shaker, but he'll look towards the Tusk. He said it's not going to be enough though. Infused raindrop saving Spartan, and now mouz with Madara hot on the chase, looking for Ace. Hester Joe pops down the cogs trying to save him, but here comes Thug with the haste rune. The scream comes through. Hester Joe, he is going to be taken down. Thug will find one, will turn towards Ace, should be able to pick up the second, and indeed they do. The heal's not enough. Top lane, though, in return, the play is looking to be made by Danish Bears. They'll glimpse back MNT. He's trying to turn it around here with a stolen Thunderstrike, but it's not going to be enough as they find him in the tree line. 747 brings him down. But a nice play there from mouz on the bottom lane. Again, these rotations from Thug are looking very, very hopeful.
Yeah, it looks like the first tower of the game might be claimed off of that. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Necrophos, and they're actually not really hooking up their cores too much on the side of Danish Bears. So we're letting the Necrophos out the dry line. He has a very tanky build. He should not have enough time in order to live.
Here comes Noya though. He's hit his 6. He's looking to set someone up with the Vendetta. Looks for Madara. This Quill Sprays are starting to stack up, so they have to be a bit careful here on the side of Danish Bears. They have the Snowball, buying time, waiting for that Ghost Shroud to finish before looking for more. Now they're close back in, but here's 747. Comes in with the Requiem, but in return, Thug makes the bigger play. The Sonic Wave comes out. MNT with the stolen Requiem clips has to do on the side, and now Danish Bears, they're trying to get themselves out of here. Madara trying to run them down, but the turnaround, Noya hits the Impale. Bristle backs out and down, but Skylark, he does end up finishing off the clockwork. There's now telekinesis. The Static Storm, though, it catches 2, but they don't have the field out. Doesn't matter. The punches from 747 still enough to bring down MNT. Spartan in trouble as well as the Raze flies through. 747 picks up the double kill, and Thug's just left to get himself the hell out of there. So again, these team fights, which are rather drawn out. This time, Danish Bears definitely the ones to end up coming out on top. Big kills there for the Shadow Fiend to find at the end of it all, but it's really feeling like a massive game between Thug and 747. Both mids playing their minds. They're doing absolutely everything to make sure they can do everything possible for their teams in these fights.
That was a really nice fissure. It like separated the Bristle from the rest of the team so that he could get some brief respite. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to like double back and use the Shrine, as they already had to use the Shrine early on to actually get into that position to begin with. But Quab's had a lot of gold. If they had availed that fight, it would have been a little bit. I don't know if she had enough money for it before that fight, but she still needs to. Like, Quab's a hero that you just need to always spend your gold and get that little incremental lead. It's not really a game that I think where you can just wait to look for. We'll look for that big of items. So let's see. Necrophos still just going for mass HP with the Perez, just wants to be able to survive and be that frontline tank. Bristle with the hood and the Vanguard hood. Okay. Very good this game, I would say.
And then we're looking for the Hound.
But no treads, surprisingly.
No, just stick with the brown boots for now. Talking about boots as well, I don't know if it was mentioned, but we've got the phase boots on the Earthshaker as well. I guess is that something you just do when there's a clock in the game, just so you have some sort of a way to make sure that he can't really chase you down with the battery assault?
Yeah, it has gotten him in position, but you see that more so on like mid shakers, I would say, to hit really, really hard.
So you don't really, you'd rather see him just get something like the Arcanes this game really, rather than the phase. You don't.
It depends on what talent he wants at level 3. You can take the mana talent if he wants, but I think his cores are actually doing pretty decently. They already have the Arcane of the Rubik, so it's not as big a deal that he doesn't have it. Well, yeah, Vision. About to get dewarded.
I know what's up. Should easily be able to reclaim control of that area. 747. Keeping himself high up on the net worth, on par with Madara at the moment. Him and the Bristle at the top. Thug very close behind. The Necro a little further though. Not quite the place that Ace would have hoped to be in. He's been in a lot of these fights, but he has died a lot. 5 deaths so far in these first 14 minutes. As mouz have been doing their best to target him down, trying to bring him down every time.
Ultimate orb first. What's that for? Scythe rush?
Is he going to rush the Scythe?
That is old school. It is generally not preferred. He might want it versus the Nyx, I would say. So, like, if you get the jump on Nyx is just dead. Normally, if you go like a Veil or a Yules first, you can actually kill the Nyx early on in the fight. Okay. But normally people go for Orchid first. But maybe he wants a little bit more HP. Maybe he wants a Lincoln Sphere as opposed. Maybe save someone from Reaper. But Lincoln Sphere is not a very offensive build. I think
you don't like the Lincoln's Rush. You don't.
It's because they have an offlane Shaker. I think if they had like a scaling core in the offlane, then they can take the fight much later on into the game. But maybe that's his mentality too. It's like, okay, maybe if I don't die, I can carry on to the later game. But I think that's not really playing to Quap's strength, which is just mid-game domination.
Well, let's see if they can do something big here in the mid lane, mousesports, because we do now have that Blink Dagger finished on Skylark. I believe it may have been spotted out there. We have to pluck him around. No, but Skylark will still get the jump in. Jump straight down with the Echo Slam. There, beautiful blink across here from Thug to finish off 747. Great play there from mouz to put an end to this push in the mid lane and take down the Shadow Fiend.
They did not expect to have Blink this early, especially with the Phase Boost pick. If you see Brown Boots, you'd probably expect him to have it, but with the Phase Boots, you would expect it maybe a few minutes later.
Top lane though, Sonoya actually in return able to hunt down Skylark as he came darting straight for the top lane. And quick scythe to knock him down. He's out for 20. So they do find something in return, but still definitely the bigger bit of momentum going towards mousesports there with that Shadow Fiend kill.
Yep, sad soul lossage. He is going for Silver Edge, clearly to deal with the Bristleback here in this situation. Spartan is still not level 6. Slight bit of an issue, I would say. Clockwork, easy spam out of spells, but they don't have the SF, the backbone of their push, so it's unlikely to yield into a T1. And Bristle's already there, so he's going for Halberd first, which is very good versus the SF. The thing about SF, he does care about being halberded, but at least he can actually do something when you're halberded, as opposed to like Troll and Lifestealer who kind of just sit there awkwardly.
Danish Bears holding things back a little bit, trying to get some farm back up on Ace on this bottom lane. mousesports once again in the neighborhood. There's 3 of them hovering around their south shrine at the moment. Top lane a bit more space being given to the Shaker. But he's not with the team at the moment, Skylark. Does have that TP, and yeah, looking to build what the pipe for the side.
Pipe's very interesting. I think most of the time people will consider Force Staff here because of the clockwork in the game, but it looks like Rubik will be building Force Staff instead, and it looks like he will want to deal with the Necrophos, perhaps protect his Bristleback a little bit. Normally, like, the Bristle would get the pipe and the Shaker would get the Force Staff, so I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning is to the Earthshaker actually building the pipe himself.
Oh, mid lane, Hester Joe straight in with the hook shot. Setups there with the stun into Static Storm. And Thug, not a chance to get his way out of there. There'll be TPs coming in for a reaction from mousesports, but it's going to be the straight glimpse back there for Madara as he's sent right back to the bottom lane. And now Danish Bears taking the Queen of Pain off the map. They would love to finally try and finish us off this tier 1 in the middle lane, but they do have to be careful. Echo Slam is back up, and even though the Quap's dead, it's not necessarily an easy tower push for them.
Shaker Rubik's a very good stalling at T1 lineup. And yeah, Quap was dead, but they still can't really get anything off of it. And this, I would say, is a pretty big win for mouz right here. That's a big sign of strength when you lose one of your biggest cores and you don't lose anything off it, and you can actually return for a push into the mid lane. Unfortunately for them, they have a big server ward over here, which will be able to spot out the Shaker because their smoke was just blown before.
I mean, look at this as well. Bristol's just going in. The Fisher, it will manage to catch the Disruptor. Neuer's there, though, with the two-man stun. Hester Joe coming in with the Blade Mail as well. Cogs are there to trap them, but the Echo Slam comes out. They're falling so damn low. The Sonic Wave as well. Danish Bears, they've lost two, but in return, 747 trying to turn things around with the massive amounts of damage he has, but Rise is falling. It's going to be Madara finding himself the double kill. 747 trying to ward him off with the Requiem, but now he's in trouble. Jump forward again from Skylight, looking for the control. Onto 747, the Enchant Toner comes through, and Madara's set up there for the triple kill. Another one for Bristle, and he's not done yet. He's looking for Ace, but Ace with the newly found roll will hold him back. Thug's still playing around with this one, despite how damn low he is. Thug's just manning up. Skylark as well, but it's going to be Skylark throwing his life away, but it is going to be worth it as Madara will then find the kill onto the Necrophos. Mouse get the tier 1 in the mid lane as well. And yeah, with that hold, into that team fight, into this push, Mouse Sports definitely breaking away now.
They're positioned very well with Madara in these fights.
And he's got all the money in the world now. 2.4k, he can finish off that halberd.
This he got the debuff onto the SF and he got destroyed.
You've got to be careful around those Ancients. You really, really do. And team fights ahoy, we're going again. Static Storm will hold back Mouse Sports. Danish Bears have to be very careful how close they come a poking to this Bristle. Spawn with the nice ward up, just to make sure that there's no chance that Danish Bears can get themselves in. Hester Joe thinking about a hook shot. Doesn't want to jump over the igloo. Can't be caught on the wrong side of the icy building. As Mouse Sports will be allowed to back.
So see, recent Atos pick up on Necrophos. Halberd just picked up. Lincoln's picked up. I would say this Lincoln Sphere is actually doing pretty good work too. It's also, I think, very good versus the Glimpse combo coming out from Rise. Oh!
I mean, he's been putting the hours in on this task. He knows exactly what to do with those shards. I think we saw one that was questionable, but that was into the fog. Everything else has been absolutely perfect from him. Really, really nice tusk play. Definitely a hero that, as we've said, it's hard to adapt during these qualifiers. If Mouse go on to win this, you've got to be careful about letting him have it, because he was a huge nuisance in the first minute. There was definitely a bit of downtime from it was what you mentioned. He slowed down on XP, but you don't need level 6 for the old shards. That's what Spartan's been needing at the moment to make those plays happen. There's going to be an attempt for a steal here. Coming in, can he do anything? No. They will find it, Mouse Sports. They'll get the Aegis and they'll punish Hester Joe. He went for the big plays, and understandably so, but instantly stunned as he came in with a hook shot.
Nice try. There wasn't really that much going on around the map. I don't really think his life really... I think the risk was worth the reward at that point.
Definitely.
Very high risk, but even higher reward. But he's able to farm all the Ancients up right now, whereas you have SF that's like a little bit more scared, has to farm buddy-buddy system. They immediately lost their Observer Ward over here, so things are not looking so great for Danish Bears at this moment.
Yeah, and actually looking at that as well, so the Shaker, even though he did actually queue up he changed his mind. He went for what you sort of expect, the Force, just a casual cloak.
I do not think he should have gone for Pipe right there. That's Bristol's job, and they have Null Field on top of that. So
yeah, they're covered in that department.
I think it would have been. It's not the right hero for it. I think I think if you were a different hero like Tidehunter or something like that's supposed to be up in there, and maybe if he didn't have a Bristle Peck, I think he could go for it. But for a Shaker, I think it's very rare that Pipe would be the item that you would want.
And as you say, it's such a good game for 4 stuff. You know, that's going to mean everything here.
It also can get people out of the chain stun from Nyx, which is super important. You can like push people out before the kinetic field rises up. You have to be careful about this.
What
people
they do, you've seen this man's shards. If Spartan can catch someone. Madara, the glimpse actually not coming back
in time. TP.
Yeah.
Good TP from Madara, TPing into the backside of the fight.
And we'll be able to keep himself up on that top lane. 747 though, granted a bit of space down bottom. We'll look to finish off the BKB after the Silver Edge. Still quite a way to go.
So the problem with Silver Edge is that like Bristleback is still normally very, very tanky despite, like if he's broken right now, he still has a lot of physical mitigation with the Heaven's Halberd evasion, the Vanguard block, he has the hood. He's still very tanky despite it. The only thing he's missing is armor. His armor is very low. A lot of people build Solar Crest for this particular reason, but they don't have any solar.
And for sure, as well, if you get the Silver Edge hit in, you've still got that Reaper Surf, you know what I mean? So between the two of them, it's definitely a lot of damage you can work around if you can get him down to the right point. But yeah, you're right, definitely, you know, because of the lead that Madara has, you know, he's top of the net worth. Definitely reasons for him not to stop going as ham as he has been in these team fights. Mid lane, TP to come in from Thug. Has got Sonic Wave back up.
Yeah. He can actually TP in too. He can actually TP in sight because of the Lincoln Sphere. So I think this does have a lot of benefits to them. This is not a great position for either team. Like, they're not set up on the shrine, but Danish Bears do have this high observer ward. So looking at vision from both sides of the map, still pretty good from Danish Bears, I would say. It's hard for them to make plays even with the Nyx just because Bristle is such a big force, and on mouse side we only see this one observer ward behind the T2. Dyer's use scan, trying to figure out where everyone is behind Skylark, but with the scan hitting green, he thought it was okay.
Mid lane, return their mouse. They may lose that shaker, but they're trying to put some pressure onto this mid lane. Only a few hundred gold away from the full-out Assault Crash on Madara. But it is going to be Danish Bears getting away with a bigger push. Down bottom, they'll take a tier 2 as well. In fact, mid lane, hook shot in from Hester Joe. There's a hook shot to his left. Looked like he was actually using that hook shot to try and get away from the rest of the side of Mouse Sports, but nowhere for him to run, as he will lose his life. They
didn't finish off this tower, though. Not yet, at least.
See if they can go back and do it. Thug did manage to just go ahead over and pick up a DD. Still got an extra bit of punch if they need it, but for the time being, he's not looking to reveal himself. Maybe hoping that Danish Bears would have come in for some sort of a play, but yeah, they're avoiding conflict at all possibilities here, as they do not want to head in that middle lane, at least not until Mouse starts to go for the high ground push.
They can't even push, though. There's no mana on the Bristle. Even if he had like 20% mana, he'd just get mana burned to death. So they actually don't have the sufficient tools. Tusk is super poor. He doesn't even have an Urn. I think he's still trying to build Urn. I think maybe Arcane at this point might be a little bit better, just so they can sustain the Bristle back a little bit more, or even just buy a Medallion.
Here we go. They're looking to try and roll in. The cogs are out, but the Fissure and the Shards, they're a little bit stronger with the telekinesis to follow up. The clock is trapped.
And the Tusk has been a very good solution to the clock in this game. He's been like trapping himself inside his own cogs with the shards a lot of the time.
It's been very, very efficient. And as you said, definitely one of the strengths of that hero that we're seeing, that you don't need those items. You know, 25 minutes in and he's still being incredibly effective. Quick TP out there from Neuer. Will avoid being caught here by Mouse as they come back with a wraparound. And he's listening to you, Ben. He's listening to you, Ben. He drops the Urn. He's not going for that. He just picks up the Arcanes now. He's got the money.
They still need Medallion, I would say, for high ground siege. Ooh, Shivas. Don't see that very often. Lincoln's Shivas. A lot of int, so you'll get mana burned. Like, this is going to hurt. But it is very good versus the SF. SF is their main damage dealer right now, and he already kind of has no field to deal with the Reapers and the Lincoln Sphere, so it's still a pretty good item, although you can use Aethos to pop it out immediately. But Necrophos is still falling a little bit behind the other cores on the net worth grab.
Yeah, he's closing in on his own Shivas as well, so both teams to have it soon. Oh, that's a nice little steal there for the Rubik, getting the Vendetta. See if he can do anything with it. Sonic Wave is going to be blown as again Mouse Sports finding Hester Joe, and I've got to say it's seemed to be a bit of a tough one here for Hester Joe these last few minutes as they continuously find him out. And in fact, bottom lane with that stolen Vendetta, M&T tracking down 747. Do they have detection? They do. The sentry's out and down, straight into the telekinesis. Mouse around him, and a big kill for them to find there as they take down 747.
The past couple of minutes still have been pretty good for Danish Bears. Keep in mind that they were playing against an Aegis Bristlebag, and they still managed to follow up back in net worth due to their split pushing. But now they will finally get punished for it because of the Rubik Vendetta that was definitely the key points. Plus, on top of that, the clock also constantly getting picked off.
Go again, but Skylark will be able to force his way out of the cogs. TP in, coming through from the Necro, looking to bring down the Shaker. Skylark chased down by the Battery's help, but Skylark, he's actually going to survive for the time. No, finally falls. Neuer will be able to take him down with the mana burn. Roll forward from Mouse comes through. They found themselves. Can they get that kill there? Hester Joe, he's getting incredibly low, but no! The scythe comes through just in time. Saves Hester Joe for a little longer, but it will be Thug that ends up cleaning him up. 4 dead on the side of Danish Bears. Neuer looking to be in trouble as well. He'll pop the Skype Bike Carapace, trying to hold them back, but it's not going to work.
Just see Thug there. It's like, okay, impale me, bro. Impale me. I love those kind of plays. That's a dominance assertion. They're trying to fight with other SF, though. SF's, again, is their backbone of their lineup. Without SF, they have no physical damage.
I mean, we saw it like in the earlier fights. It was, they'd lose a few, but then 747 would turn up, punch them down, and they would actually get an even team fight. But yeah, you're right. Without that SF, very, very hard for them to do anything at all in these fights for Danish Bears.
He has BKB now, though. They don't have the greatest right click. Madara is okay, but he
hello. Goodbye. Easy kill there for 747 as he picks up an absolute freebie. That is, yeah.
You don't expect the SF to be right there, though. You expect them to be farming up this area, so and maybe these ancients over here. But he is trying to play more around the Roshan pit, which has been pretty good for them. So Danish Bears can still do Roche. Roche is about to respawn, and there's a DD sitting right there. If Neuer does scout it, this could be. This could be the first lead for them in the game if they can manage the sequence of events.
I mean, for sure, because that's pretty much been the story of the game. It is close, but it's been mouz maintaining that continual leader, even though it is a very slight one. Absolutely, one good fight, and Danish Bears get themselves back on top of this one. There we have it, DD on the Shadow Fiend.
DD and BKB.
You've got to be careful.
Oh, he doesn't have a bottle though. That actually hurts a lot because they could have just went into Roche if it were up. Oh, nice.
Hello, yeah, they shove Madara into them. Madara will be shoved out in return. Quick glimpse back, they say, no, you try and bring him away, we'll bring him right back. BKB, pop by the SF, they're punching in, they've got the side. They'll take down Madara. Now Spartan drops in a couple of hits. There's going to be a hook shot forward. Hestejo looking for more. The stolen Reaper side turnaround, but it's not enough to get the kill. The Sonic Wave, though, that will. It gets 2 of them. mouz Sports, they bought back here on the Bristleback. They need the big kills. They are going to get them. 747 taken down by Thug. Thug with some great plays there, some huge amounts of damage coming out from the Queen of Pain, and this is perfect for mouz. We talked about the SF would have been brilliant for Danish Bears, getting that DD and such, but mouz, even though they lose the fight initially, Madara buys back, they turn it around with Thug's play, they get into the pit, they get themselves Aegis, and that buyback, absolutely worth it there.
His next respawn is going to be forever, though. I think
he's got the Aegis, though, Ben.
He might not need a respawn. You are right. Going for 50 attack speed, more damage.
Yeah, the right, well, with the AC and such, yeah.
Yep.
Get those punches in, and we'll see how much they can do it, because there is, it's 30 seconds, no Shadow Fiend, he does not have buyback 747. And we'll see how much they can get out of this. They push in onto the tier 1.
I think he should be sieging from right here, though, so his back is fully facing towards them. The T4s don't quite reach there, so it's a really good place for him to siege.
See him get the first tower. I mean, as you mentioned, if they can kill this Bristleback twice, it would be huge for Danish Bears. Thug jumping in, though, forcing the Disruptor to back off. As mouz will find the space to bring those racks down low. The fortification comes through, but mouz, they will certainly stick around, make sure they finish it off. Glimpse back into the Static Storm, traps the Queen of Pain for the time being. The hook shot's going to miss, though. Move forward here from Hestejo. Beautiful cogs, but the full staff, it will be enough to take Madara out. They're protecting the Aegis absolutely perfectly. Spartan will be left for dead. They'll lose the Tusk. They really want to try and at least pop that Aegis on the Bristleback, but it looks like it's not going to happen. They'll get the vision to glimpse back MNT. They'll drop the Reaper Scythe, no messing around, and make sure they find the second support, but still Madara's on the retreat. He's being hunted, though. Neuer looking to see if he can find anything, but it's going to be the Shrine up there for Madara. He'll be fine. So they get the racks that they're after. They do lose the 2 supports, but they still keep that Aegis intact.
Pretty good fight, I would say, from both sides. mouz got what they came for, but they got a lot of return because if they got the Aegis on Bristle, it would be a win. But overall, just a slight win for mouz here.
It depends how much Danish Bears can get off the back of this, as they do have that momentum in the middle lane. Bottom, Hestejo playing around in fact. Oh, Skylark coming in, but he can't get the Fissure off. Hestejo with a perfectly timed hookshot there to put a spanner into the works at the Earthshaker's combo, but it might not matter though, because Thug, he's got a BKB. He mans up, he brings down the Necrophos. BKB as well out from 747. Can he do it here with the Requiem? Madara falling low? No! This Bristleback's just too damn tanky. 747 tries to TP out, but Skylark, he's found him. Manages to catch the TP. Rise will be lucky. But 747 down again. No buyback for 80 seconds. And again, another one of these fights where we're seeing buybacks come in. MNT in that one just to make sure that Mouse could get the win. And now, once again, Mouse pushing down this middle lane. They do have the opportunity to try and get that second lane of Rax down on the bottom. Tier 2 still standing on the top lane, but that is a long time without your Shadow Fiend. A minute without 747. No buyback still on him. Thug just manning up at this point. They know they've got a massive opening here. He jumps straight in, takes down Disruptor. The Scythe will be there to punish the Shaker. Thug being knocked back by the Cogs. In fact, he's out of mana. He may have come a little bit too deep for this one. And in fact, Thug pops the BKB. All the stick charges, he's out. Beautiful play there by Thug. Making sure not to throw his life away. He will be chased down, but the Blink's too strong. Thug will get himself out of there. The Atos does connect onto MNT, as he will be left behind. Spike Carapace actually holds back the clock there as he stuns himself from the rocket flare. Oh no! Oh no, Spartan, not like this! He tries to go for the next level plays to save MNT, but he ends up blocking him in with them. He's still alive though, MNT. The Spike Carapace certainly buying him time, but he will finally drop as they do lose him. And now it's Mouse Sports without 2. No buyback. Danish Bears do have the full roster back up. We'll see how much they can do. And yeah, Mouse Sports getting a little too deep there as they do dive past tier 3s and bottom racks.
They sought to kill the Nyx early on in the fight. Nyx is a big problem once his mana burn gets to this point in the game, especially with his, again, heavy int build. But luckily for them, Roshan's still going to be down for quite some time. They just need to be able to play it safe, take down Shrines, take down Roshan, and end the game. That's ideally your game plan for Mouse. You don't want things to get too crazy. Remember that Bristleback doesn't have buyback, and his respawn is really, really long. So if he dies with after his Aegis
he's coming
down,
out.
Yeah, he's fine. He has 30 seconds left on him. So right now it doesn't really matter too much. But later on, yes, it could put them in a bind, especially because it's 3v5 right now.
Yeah, Madara's running straight up, but yeah, as you said, Danish Bears realize this is not quite the time that they want to try and bring him down. In fact, mass TP's coming in. Ace, he's got to be careful. They'll drop the Static Stone just to make sure that these TPs can't do anything straight away. There'll be the stun. Onto 2 is the Reaper's Scythe. That's going to be the Shaker around and down. The Snowball comes out just in time to protect the Tusk. Roll forward here, but it's going to be the BKB versus BKB as the Bristol and the SF finding each other up. It's going to be Bristol chasing down the Shadow Fiend. Neuer will actually survive there with the Glimmer, will keep himself up for a little bit of time. Finally gets finished off here by the side of Mouse Sports, but they've lost 2. They've only found 1. They may lose a 3rd. The hook shot's going to miss though from Hester Joe. MNT trying to play his way out of here, but the Force Forward gets the vision for the Thunder Strike, and that's going to be MNT down as well. Mouse lose 3. Danish Bears keep their cause alive.
Didn't even pop the Shrine that fight. That was just not a good place to TP into. Two of them TP directly into the Static Storm.
And losing the Shaker at the start, you know, you need the chance for Skylark to get out Echo. Any sort of play, I mean, he's the man with the pipe, the Force. Without that Shaker, things are certainly going to crumble for for Mouse Sports, as we saw in that last engagement. And now, Danish Bears, their turn to try and have a look at taking some racks up to the top lane. They'll take the tier 3. No buybacks coming out, and of course they're not there. So I think you're certainly going to realize if you're Danish Bears that you can try and push this a little bit more, but they'll play it safe, still respecting the Madara Bristleback.
Yeah, they don't know.
He's very scary.
They don't know that Shaker doesn't have buyback. Yeah. They could easily get like trapped in, or easily with a wraparound from the Shrine. But
play it safe.
Roshan's going to be up pretty soon. The Shrine's dead, pretty much.
Apparently having the Orchid on the Shadow Fiend as well, level 23. So
they also need a gem. They're getting away way too much with the Silver Edge and the Glimmer Capes. Too many heroes are living for them. I don't know who would carry that. Dara's too fat to carry it. I guess maybe Queen could carry it. Get rid of her bottle, I suppose, but they really do need detection.
It's certainly taking them a little more time than they would have hoped to get those supports, as you mentioned.
It's about time to smoke, though. Smoke Roche. this is the play.
Yeah, both teams. I mean, yeah, getting this Aegis is absolutely huge at this stage of the game. Getting an Aegis can certainly mean a free set of racks for either side, maybe even the game as well.
Radiant only have vision over here, close to the Ancients. Dire have 0 Observer Wars on this side of the map at all. So it's going to be a pretty tough fight coming up from both sides. No one really knows what's going on. They just know they both need to play around the Roche pit. Not even close to being up right now. I guess 30 seconds, but not even possible at this point in time.
Got Ags picked up on Necro. So extra bit of ease to bring down some of these tankier heroes.
Yeah, I think that he should be able to cast it twice in the fight. 25 seconds. These fights have been pretty long. I think it's generally the way that Bristle fights generally go.
Yeah, I've been talking about using your ults twice. You know, with Ags on Clockwork as well. Definitely for the same reason. Something that's going to be nice in these team fights, having the chance for multiple hook shots. Try and break things up. Madara pushing in the middle. Will be catching him out though from the side, straight in there with this Sprite Carapace, catching him off guard from the Quill Spray, and that will bring him down. He's down for nearly 2 minutes. He does not have buyback available. And now mousesports, they've got to get everyone else out of here. If they start losing more, this could go south very, very quickly. They'll try and save with the snowball. It's not going to work. The Stolen Reaper sight, though, will bring down the Necrophos in return, but it's 747 picking up the triple. Give that man the Ultra. He'll take it. And with 4 dead, no buybacks, Mouse may have just given up the game here. There's no outer tier 2 standing. They're straight up to the high ground. They've got no Necrophos. But with only a Tusk alive, and I say that as he dies, I think this may be over, Ben.
Yep, it's over. That was, they weren't close enough to sitting behind the Bristleback. He's had a Silver Edge for a very long time, and they should, like, if you're Bristleback in this situation, you know that if you die, it's game over.
Yeah.
Because, firstly, he doesn't have buyback. Secondly, his death timer is just astronomically long because of the situation of events that led him to it. But overall, they fell apart, I would say, a little bit before that. That part where I was like, okay, they just need to play it safe, and then they TP onto their shrine with 2 into the Static Storm before the Roshan spawn. That was their undoing. I think they really wanted to jump the gun with the Aegis on the Bristleback, but you let the Bristleback tank. You don't initiate the fight with other people. You just let the Bristleback just go in there and just do stuff for 20-30 seconds, and then if it looks like he's about to die when the Aegis is about to expire, then that's when you buy back and make some really YOLO plays, but they just missed their timing a little bit, and I think that 747 just done so much damage.
I've got to say, in the 2 games I've seen 747 today, he's looking to impress. He really is. They're a great performance in that Lycan game, and this game as well, considering the start that he had. You know, it was a rough beginning for it, but he recovered. Yeah, the quickest I've ever seen an SF recover, I think. You know, sometimes we see the SF have a bad start, and then maybe 20 minutes into the game they manage to jungle their way back up. But with the help, as you mentioned earlier, of Neuer, very able to secure that lane back in his favor, make these movements, make these plays. Great itemization as well from him, knowing exactly what was needed for these team fights.
See, he also sold his Vanguard.
On the Bristle,
I still think he should have gotten a Solar, because that's the thing. If you get broken, you still have the 45% evasion. And now that he has Bloodthorn, it's not as big a deal, but he still would have had evasion for a very, very long time. But now still look like they have some fight left in them as they do try and secure a good game push against Megas.
Can they do it?
With the Aegis.
I believe we have had some victories against Megas in these qualifiers already. Can Mouse be another team to achieve it? They get the cheese, they get the Aegis, they really need to go all out. They need to do something big. Static Storm has already been used, so that's a start. There's no Static Storm to worry about. They do have to worry about the Mega Creeps hitting onto the tier 4s, and they will send the Tusk back to deal with that. Spartan looking to tank up the aggro, try and draw these big old brutes away from their structures. The rest of Mouse actually going to back up as well. They'll look to clear out the base, try and set things up for a better opportunity to push down a lane. Can they do it, Ben? I mean, it's going to be so hard for them. They don't really have the best means of dealing with pushing out multiple stronger lanes as well.
Nope. They need more armor. They need Vlad. They need Mjolnir on Quap. Still a while away from her. They're not really getting any gold, but they still can stall it out for quite some time, at least with the Aegis.
They can, and of course for Danish Bears now, it definitely is a case of just playing it safe. they'd have to do something monumental to throw this away, Danish Bears. And considering the way that they've played so far, that's very unlikely to happen. Some very controlled play, even in situations where they were losing the team fights. Always bringing it back, never letting this game go massively in mouz Sports' favour, as we can see there, as mouz maintained a only very, very slight steady lead in net worth. But now at this point, of course, bam, Danish Bears strike hard, get this lead, get those megas, and mouz, they need a bit of a miracle now. They've got to have some amazing play or hope for some amazing misplay to come out from Danish Bears, and I don't know if it's going to happen, Ben.
Yeah, Queen of Pain might get caught out right here, though.
Hester Joe, fantastic hook shot, absolutely perfect. They've got the Cypher as well. Thug does have buyback though, so that is something at least. He did just have the gold for it. We'll see if he can do anything big with it. The rest of mouz Sports backing up for what would be their final defense here. Let's see if they can do it. There's the buyback. 747, no messing. Comes the BKB. Requiem clips a few on the sidelines. Now Thug trying to chase down so he can catch the SF post BKB, but at least will force him back. And forced back Danish Bears will be. But again, no reason to take any risks here, Danish Bears. Play it slow, play it steady, and just slowly bring down mouz Sports.
Yep, not even a chance to use her BKB or her cheese in that fight. The thing about it is they have Ags on Disruptor, so no BKB.
No cheese?
No cheese. No BKB on Bristle. Yeah. And it should be an easy pick-off for them once they get the static storm up. So I wouldn't really be worried at all in Danish Bears. I think this comeback from Megas the chances are theoretically very, very low for them.
No, you said they need the... I mean, I don't...
Another thing is I think mouz did not do a good job of slowly, incrementally getting all of their items. Like, I think Shadowfiend did a really good job of that. Like, he kept spending his gold, getting stronger and stronger for every single fight, whereas mouz, you had, like, the Queen of Pain sitting on, like, 2 nulls and an ultimate orb. That's not really that strong in the mid-game. Like, once she gets her Linkages, that's pretty decent, but that came pretty late. That came like 18 minutes. I think with Queen, you need to be able to spend your gold and just be way stronger in the early game. Same with Tusk. Tusk has arcane boots. This is 46 minutes in the game, and he doesn't have the GPM talent, but he still, I think, should have way more than 2,800 net worth. Even the poorest hero on the Radiant side has 8,500 Danish Bears.
Oh, and look who they've caught out. The Shaker's gone, and maybe more as Hester Joe hook shots in. Tries to cock back Thug, but Thug will still get the blink away, but Shaker down. And so is Spartan. They don't have buyback. What can they do? mouz Sports, just the 3 of them alive. Ladara doing his best to hold them back. He needs to buy a lot of time, and even at that, is it going to be enough for mouz? That's Danish Bears closing in on the Ancient. The Mega Creep stacking up. The break comes through along with the Bloodthorn, and that will be the Bristle down. He has that Aegis ready for round 2, but there's no messing around for 747. Looks towards the Ancient. Now tries to turn to fight towards Madara. They'll bring down the Bristle. He does have buyback though, comes back into it, but they've lost MNT. GG is called. mouz tap out. Danish Bears take the victory.
I would say pretty solid performance from mouz. I expected a little bit less from them, I would say, this game.
Yeah.
Danish Bears, again, I think they're more with the times, like the Necrophos versus the Bristleback, whereas mouz, like, didn't really enable the Bristleback that much. But overall, I would say pretty decent showing from both teams. I think that letting the Nyx through into the last phase was also a big oversight. I think Nyx caused them a lot of problems despite not being good.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, that Nyx pick really redeemed the mid lane for 747.
Yeah.
Caused a huge amount of annoyance for Thug. Not only Thug, but it also was kind of nice to see against the Bristleback. You know, this hero that likes to run around quill spraying. But as we saw sometimes, you go into lane, you quill spray, there's going to be an Nyx Assassin hiding around with the Spike Carapace. And suddenly you have the whole side of Danish Bears getting the time to get in position and punch that Bristleback in the face. But yeah, very nicely done from Danish Bears. And as I said, we've seen them already 2 games today. And certainly looking to impress. And looking like things have gone really well having 747 on the lineup. You know, Danish Bears, it was sort of a team that didn't change in the longest of times. But 747, he's in there. And you couldn't tell that he's only just joined. They're playing perfectly as a team.
Yeah, I think he's a much better core to play around than Baby Knight. Because Baby Knight plays all these weird things. Like,
it does it, yeah,
like the Brood mid, he plays a lot of Sniper. Whereas I think like 747 on the Shadow Fiend, like you can gravitate towards him and play around him and win the game. I think he's a better win condition than Baby Knight. Overall, looking at damage, Clockwork did a lot. Here, I don't think Madara did enough. His build was like he had a lot of wasted gold with the Vanguard. I think that didn't end up. He didn't have the Solar Crush, which I think would have led to much easier fights and perhaps him not dying a couple times. Yeah. What else could have? They needed a Glimmer. Glimmer is.
They never got one, did they?
They got one on, but it was very late. Keep in mind he went for I think like Cloak and then Force and then Blink, and I think it was his last item. But they needed to deal with deal with the Necrophus ult. But yeah, a little bit of strange builds coming out from Mouse. It was still a cool game.
It was a cool game.
That was a cool game.
It was a cool game. And if you want to watch more cool games, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. I believe we have, I might be wrong, I think it's Secret versus Cool Beans there. So it should be exciting to see. Cool Beans! I'm looking forward to seeing Cool Beans. Not had the chance to see Loader and the boys, so.
What a cool name.
Cool Beans. We've had Bean Boys, we've had the Cool Beans. People love their beans.
Geek Fam.
Geek Fam. That's some NA team, isn't it?
It's an SEA team.
Oh, SEA team.
Bambo's team.
Is it Bambo?
Yeah.
Is Bambo on an SEA team?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Get with the times,
Owen. There's so many teams to keep up nowadays. Everyone going everywhere. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Mag's in SEA too.
Oh, no, Mag's in SEA. Okay. Yeah,
Bambo's there too.
I mean, there's some of the strong teams out there, aren't there, as well? So, SEA, of course. There's not enough time in the day, really, to keep up with all the regions, but do your best. We're obviously trying to cover the most exciting games here on the main stream. We obviously have other streams going as well, so keep your eyes out for those so you can catch all the Dota 2. But yeah, we'll cut to a short break. We'll be back very, very shortly. Team Secret versus Cool Beans around the corner with me and Ben. You're sticking around, aren't you, Ben? Yes, he is.